And he rides with Boyson power reeds to get top performance out of his bike. Acceleration, response, power, and speed.
I know real power when I feel it. And if you want more horsepower and better throttle control from your bike, do it the way I do. Boyson reeds. They're inexpensive and easy to install. Just bolt them on and go with Boyson reeds.
Boyson power reeds will give your bike the best boost for your buck. Ask your dealer or call 1-800-441-1177. Boyson power reeds. Welcome back to the Nissan 250cc U.S. Motocross Grand Prix. While we were away, Bob Hanna continued his charge from mid-pack and is now challenging Rick Ryan for the number 2 position. The two riders blast down the straightaway side by side. Hanna, with an outside line, has got the drive and takes over second. The Hurricane has not had a good year. An injury kept him from practicing and competing in the early part of the season. When he returned to competition, his riding lacked his normal charging Bob Hanna style. But not today. The Hurricane, who has hinted retirement, has put in an incredible charge. A charge that has brought him all the way from mid-pack to second. Now Hanna dives into gravity cavity. When he comes out, he'll fly a full 70 feet in the air. The Suzuki that Hanna is riding was prepared especially for him by Ivan Boyson from Boyson Engineering, and Hanna is making that Boyson-prepared Suzuki look good. But at this stage of the race, it doesn't matter how good it looks. First place is still in the hands of the O-Show, Johnny Omara. Omara's lead at this point appears to be an unbeatable one. Hanna possibly recognizing that fact, and Hanna almost goes down. What a save by the Hurricane. His miscue could have been caused by slowing the pace. Jackie Vamone in the number 3 position has closed on Hanna. Let's go to Gary Bailey, who is in the Vamone pits trackside for a report.
Larry, we're back down here in the mechanics area again, and we have Ramon's wife down here, and she's running the signaling board. And we just noticed on the board, she put down Hanna fatigue. What does that mean? Are you sure of that?
I think Babana is tired now. He's starting to get tired, so I say, Jackie, go.
How important do you think it is for Jackie to win this Grand Prix? Is he just going strictly worried about championship points, which he's already wrapped up the championship, or does he want to win this race?
No, for him now, the world champion is over. So he was coming here just to try to be good and try to beat the American. But unfortunately, I think Omara is too strong.
Johnny Omara is indeed strong. Since the opening lap, the Team Honda rider has conducted a clinic on how to ride motocross. A clinic that has taken him to a 26-second lead over Bob Hanna in second. My guess, though, is that Bob Hanna is not fatigued. He knows that Omara's 26-second lead is an insurmountable one. He has decided to back off the pace. He'll conserve his energy for moto number 2. And Hanna signals that to his mechanic. Under international rules, if Hanna can come back and win moto number 2, then he would be the overall winner. But none of that makes any difference to Jackie Vamone. The French world champion will ride just as hard as he can until he gets and Jackie Vamone goes down. The slippery Unadilla track has taken its toll. That spill will put Vamone out of contention for second. And that moves Kawasaki-mounted privateer Billy Lyles, number 39 from Jackson, Georgia, into third. Lyles is being chased by Eric Kehoe, number 34 of Team Suzuki. And Kehoe dives under Lyles, and he takes over the number 3 spot. But here comes Lyles right back. The Kawasaki privateer is not going to give up at this late stage of the race. We're in the final lap, and every position will count in the overall standings. The riders are headed toward the bottom part of the track. Kehoe in yellow, and look at Lyles charging on the inside. He forced Kehoe out of his line and regained third. The ball is back in Kehoe's court. With less than half a lap remaining, it looks like a battle for third will go down to the wire. Lyles has the advantage, but this rough Unadilla track does not, and Kehoe bobbles. That should be all that Billy Lyles needs to sew up third. Out in front, Johnny Omara is just one corner away from victory in moto number 1 of the Nissan Motocross Grand Prix. Omara, over the final jump, lofts the front wheel. The checkered flag is out, and the O-Show. Johnny Omara from Team Honda wins moto number 1. Behind Omara, here comes Hanna all alone in second place. Hanna has put in a sterling performance. He's come from mid-pack to move into that number 2 spot. The championship will be decided in the second moto, and Hanna knows it. He's been here before. As Hanna takes the checkered flag, let's go to Gary Bailey, who's with the O-Show.
Johnny Omara, winner of the first moto of the 250 Grand Prix here at Unadilla. Johnny, how do you feel after that ride, and were you worried about Hannah catching up to you?
Well, at first he was pretty up there, and I thought when he got in second I was going to basically see what he had. And I don't know if he was trying or if he just was saving it for the second moto, but I think the second moto is going to be a tough one between me and him.
Do you think Bob's going to give it 100% in that next moto and try and show you? Do you think he was saving some? What's your opinion?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think Bob was probably saving. I think he knew he wasn't going to catch you, and so he was going to save everything he had and give it to you all in the next one. Johnny, great ride.
Thank you.
So Johnny Omara, with a 30-second advantage, wins moto number 1. Behind Omara, American riders took the next 3 positions, with Bob Hannah finishing second, Billy Lyles third, Eric Kehoe fourth. In 5th place was the top European, Peter Hansen from Sweden. Stay with us. When we return, we'll have more motocross action from the Nissan 250cc U.S. Motocross Grand Prix. 250cc U.S. Motocross Grand Prix. While the riders are in the pits preparing for moto number 2, let's look back at Unadilla action from 1985. That event was also a battle between Johnny Omara and Bob Hannah. Omara is out in front, but not for long. With feet off the pegs, Hannah made an impossible pass and took over the lead. But that was just the beginning. With that pass, both Hannah and Omara began riding the rough Unadilla track at much faster speeds than in earlier laps. That forced them into new lines, bumps, and ruts. Then Hannah went wide, and Omara somehow managed to dive to the inside, but he was going too fast to hold the line. The 2 riders collided with Omara's leg between them. In extreme pain, Omara backed off the pace and waved Hannah by. As the moto wore on, Omara gradually recovered. Toward the end, he was again able to ride at full speed. At the checkered flag, it was Hannah in one of the strongest rides ever seen at Unadilla. Moto number 2 should have been another classic battle, but instead, it turned into another Bob Hannah Unadilla jinx. On the opening lap, Omara stormed into the lead. Behind him, out of sight of the cameras, Hannah tangled with a group of riders and went down. From the back of the pack, Hannah put in an unbelievable ride, but came up short. The moto win and the 1985 Unadilla 250 Grand Prix crown went to Omara. Hannah finished 5th for 2nd overall. That was 1985, but the Hannah-Omara confrontation continues. With moto number 2 about to get underway, let's go to Gary Bailey, who's on the starting line.
Larry, we're on the starting line for the start of the second moto. The weather conditions look a little bit better. It's cleared up. There's still a possibility of rain. However, the interesting thing is where Bob Hannah is lined up. He's lined up more to the inside. On the first moto, he started more on the outside. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of a start he gets from there. The interesting thing is that Hannah needs to win the second moto in order to take the overall. Back to you, Larry.
Hannah did not get a good start in moto number 1, but number 20, Johnny Omara, did, and that was the difference. With